Wow. I'm glad we're inside. Good evening and welcome to our Sam Fox School recognition ceremony for the class of 2023. I want to thank all the parents, family, and friends who are joining us on this momentous occasion as we come together to celebrate the achievements of our Sam Fox School graduates at Washington University. I want to wish a very happy Mother's Day to all the moms out there. Happy Mother's Day. I hope our celebrations this evening will make it an even more special and memorable occasion for all of you. Graduates in the class of 2023, you are a special cohort. For me, it's my 16th year as the Dean of the Sam Fox School, and this is the 16th year of the Sam Fox School. So you are the Sweet 16 class of 2003. Graduates, many of you have had to successfully navigate your degree requirements at a time of global change, and you have demonstrated great resilience. I admire your tenacity and perseverance as so many aspects of our culture have changed and shifted as we've had to take time to reset and rebuild. I believe that although incredibly challenging, the experiences of the last several years will make you stronger as problem solvers, innovators, makers, leaders, designers, and artists. For me, this period has firmly reinforced the value and importance of our creative practice and scholarly work. Art, architecture, and design are at the heart of so many of the questions being asked today. Questions about the built environment and how technology can shape public health, racial equity, and a sustainable future. Questions about our shared values and humanity. Questions about the ways that we use art, architecture, and design to elevate all members of society, particularly during times of crisis. Graduates, I'm confident you are leaving the Sam Fox School with the technical and theoretical knowledge to excel in your fields and work at the highest levels in a multidisciplinary environment. You have also learned how to think critically, to develop complex projects, to communicate solutions in your chosen medium, and to confidently present your ideas to peers, faculty, and professionals. You have demonstrated ingenuity, commitment, empathy, and hard work, which are the building blocks for ongoing success. You're ready to face the most complex and critical issues facing our planet and humanity, including climate change, artificial intelligence, and social and environmental justice, but no pressure. Every journey in life is made up of human relationships and serendipitous connections. In my own life, I've had the good fortune of many extraordinary opportunities, like this one as the Dean of the Sam Fox School, that would have been impossible to imagine when I was graduating with my MFA in 1983. And while I've worked hard and tried to do my best and do the right thing and made the most of every chance I was given, I want to tell you the key has always been relationships with my peers, with my mentors, with my colleagues, friends, and family. The people surrounding you tonight, your classmates, your faculty, and your family and friends, they will be part of that essential network that will help you achieve your goals and contribute to your overall sense of happiness. As I welcome Amy Hoff, Director of the College of Art, to introduce our keynote speaker, Min-Jun Kim, I want to recognize my faculty colleagues on stage. Faculty, if you would please rise, I guess you are. Let's hear it for our faculty. I guess I never asked you guys if you wanted to sit down, but go ahead. Let me again join you in congratulating our faculty. I know they'll appreciate your applause when it comes time for a letter recommendation. I also want to recognize our fantastic staff who have worked hard to make this celebration tonight possible. If we could hear for our incredible staff. And finally, I want to give special recognition to Heather Woofter, the director of the College of Architecture. Together, Heather and Amy make a dynamic duo of extraordinary dedicated leaders. I owe them my sincere gratitude for their efforts to execute our academic mission each year. Now, without further ado, let me introduce Amy Hoff, the director of the College of Art and the Heitzman Professor of Art.
Thank you, Carmen. Good evening, everyone. I have the honor of introducing you to our commencement speaker this evening. In the 144-year history of the St. Louis Art Museum, there has never before been a director who was a woman, an immigrant, nor a person of color. That is until Min Jung Kim was named the Barbara B. Taylor Director of SLAM 2 years ago. She's already proved to be an inspiring leader, bringing in both a global perspective as well as an earnest ambition to more explicitly tie the museum to our St. Louis community. She's fostering growth and evolution by questioning and challenging what a museum can and should be and how it can best serve our diverse community. We're honored to welcome her here tonight to address the class of 2023. Min Jung Kim was born and raised in Seoul, South Korea. She earned her undergraduate degree from Wheaton College and holds a master's degree in art history from the Courtauld Institute of Art at the University of London. In interviews, she's told a story to which perhaps some here can relate. She remembers calling her father from college to tell him she decided to major in art history. She recalls his silence on the other end of the line in Seoul, 6,800 miles away. This was followed by numerous practical questions and then by total support. Before her arrival in St. Louis, she held a number of museum leadership roles. She came here from the New Britain Museum of American Art in Connecticut, where she had served as the director and chief executive officer since 2015. There, in the nation's first museum exclusively dedicated to American art, she expanded that definition, launching a newfound commitment to diversity while strengthening community engagement and collaborative partnerships. Before that, she served as the deputy director of the Eli and Edith Broad Art Museum in Michigan, bringing their Zaha Hadid designed museum and its operational infrastructure online. As director of content alliances at the Solomon Guggenheim Museum in New York City, she managed that museum's collaborative projects with the State Hermitage Museum in St. Petersburg and the Kunsthistorisches Museum in Vienna. We're excited to now have her at the helm of our own encyclopedic museum, and equally excited, she will help usher into the world our newest cohort of artists, designers, and architects. Please welcome Min Jung Kim.
Thank you, Professor Hoff, for that very kind introduction, and thank you to Dean Carmen Colangelo and all of the directors, department chairs, professors, and student speakers who are gathered here today for including me in this incredibly special moment. And to this year's graduates in the College and Graduate School of Art, as well as the College of Architecture and Urban Design, I'm honored to be with you as we celebrate the culmination of your time at the Sam Fox School of Design and Visual Arts. I remember well the feeling of my own graduation, both undergraduate and graduate. The first time was for my graduation ceremony from Wheaton College in Norton, Massachusetts, more than 30 years ago. Having been born and raised in Seoul, South Korea, I had come to the United States to pursue a liberal arts education and was delighted to have discovered art history, which I had chosen as my major. I remember at my graduation feeling both excited to make this the focus of my future path, and at the same time disappointed that I could not stay in the United States and continue on to graduate studies in art history. Instead, I was returning to Korea and wondering what, if anything, would come of this newfound passion. Instead of charging a path in this field and career, would I end up staying in Seoul, getting lulled into a comfortable life, marry a Korean doctor, have 3 kids, and live a few blocks away from my parents? Well, spoiler alert, that did not happen. Yes, thank you. But more on that later. The second time was for graduate school. And after several years of working in Seoul, first at Sotheby's, and then as the youngest curator at the Hoam Art Museum at the Samsung Foundation for Art and Culture, I was finally ready to come back to the United States on a 2-year full scholarship to the Williams College graduate program in art history. But that also did not happen. My path of continued education was diverted because of an incredible career opportunity to join the Guggenheim Museum in New York. And at the time, I thought I would work at the Guggenheim for a year or 2 and then return to graduate school at Williams. But I happened to join the Guggenheim at an exciting time of exponential growth, and 1 to 2 years turned into 5, and before I knew it, I'd been at the Guggenheim for nearly 13 years, the latter part of which I was the Director of Content Alliances, a post that I managed to bring together joint exhibitions and programming activities among 3 museums, the Guggenheim, the State Hermitage Museum in St. Petersburg, Russia, and the Kunsthistorisches Museum in Vienna, Austria. My life and career had quickly moved in a different direction. By the way, as it happens, I did end up going back to school eventually, although it wasn't to Williams College, as I had planned more than 20 years ago. Instead, I attended the Courtauld Institute of Art at the University of London. I was in my 40s, and I was well into my professional museum career. And instead of a scholarship to Williams, I attended the Courtauld thanks to an educational leave of absence granted by Michigan State University, where I was, at the time, Deputy Director of the Broad Art Museum at MSU. So my second graduation ceremony felt different. This time, I knew exactly where I was going and what I was looking forward to when I returned to work. With greater purpose, I focused on my trajectory to become a museum director, which I've now been for the last 8 years. Looking back, all of the things that did not happen the way that I had hoped or intended actually led to other new opportunities that I could never have anticipated or planned. So today I want to talk a little bit about chance, serendipity, and the possibility that for all the preparation, conditioning, and the training that you have undergone these past few years, the likelihood that your life will unfold in ways that you cannot predict is overwhelming. In my experience, there have been a few things that I've learned along the way, and a few things that I did not know at the time, but I wish I had, that I'd like to share with you today in the hopes that they might be helpful. The first is, get used to and embrace uncertainty. By choosing this field in art, architecture, and design, you have chosen highly competitive and challenging paths. For many of you, I'm sorry to say, there's no guarantee of professional stability, not even perhaps a guarantee of counting on a steady income. You won't necessarily be entering corporations and firms with built-in networks and colleagues, and some of you, I'm particularly looking at you studio artists, you may feel alone throughout your entire careers. How do you know if you've reached the point of success? And how do you measure success, especially if you don't know when you've even achieved it? For many of you, there is no roadmap and there is no final destination. This is both frightening and exhilarating at the same time. Your path is not linear with a finite beginning, middle, and end. Unlike others, your goal is not necessarily to work in a 9-to-5 job, aspiring to get promotion after promotion, climbing that corporate ladder until you've reached the top of your field and then you can retire and play golf all day. Which brings me to the second thing that I've learned and I want to share. Your work is never done. I say this not to sound daunting or overwhelming, but rather because I believe it's uplifting. The arc of your path is not linear and finite, but rather infinitely malleable and elastic. You can and should start, stop, start over, change course, create, make, strive to make it perfect, and in the process make glorious mistakes. But whatever you do, keep making, keep sculpting, painting, drawing, printing, designing, building, shaping, and creating. The medium that I have chosen is museums. From the Hoam Art Museum in Seoul, Korea, to the Solomon R. Guggenheim Museum in New York, Venice, Bilbao, and Berlin, to the Eli and Edith Broad Art Museum in Michigan, to the New Britain Museum of American Art in Connecticut, to the last 1.5 years, year and a half at the St. Louis Art Museum, I've had a first row seat in not only witnessing, but actively participating in shaping culture. And these experiences have also shaped me into who I am and who I've become today. I've had the great privilege of working on international expansion projects with extraordinary architects on projects that were realized, with Frank Gehry on the Guggenheim Museum Bilbao, with Richard Gluckman on the Deutsche Guggenheim Berlin, with Zaha Hadid on the Broad MSU, and with Jean Nouvel on the Louvre Abu Dhabi. But there have also been many, many more projects with extraordinary architects that were not realized, that I've also worked with closely through architectural competitions, feasibility studies, and/or projects that never made it past the concept design phase, including architects such as Tadao Ando, Santiago Calatrava, Daniel Libeskind, Massimiliano Fuxas, Shigeru Ban, among many others. The same can be said for the many artists that I've had the pleasure of working with on exhibitions, commissions, or acquisition projects, some that have realized, and others that I continue to this day not give up hope that I will one day make happen. Along the way, the simple matter of the fact is some projects get completed and some do not, and these outcomes can often be completely out of your control. With that, my next advice, which is simple: be patient. You may be surprised when timing, or even delayed timing, can sometimes work in your favor. So here's another truth, that along the way, it will get really hard and you will have doubts. But you will need to shoulder through this and keep making, keep doing the work. In 1965, American artist Eva Hesse found herself facing a period of self-doubt and was suffering from a major creativity block. She reached out to her friend, the artist Sol LeWitt, for advice. And in his letter back to her, he wrote, "Don't worry about cool. Make your own uncool. Make your own world. If you fear, make it work for you. Draw and paint your fear and anxiety. Try to do some bad work, the worst you can think of, and see what happens, but mainly relax and let everything go to hell. You are not responsible for the world. You are only responsible for your work, so do it." Sol LeWitt's 5-page letter reads like a creative credo, and I would highly encourage you to read it or watch the fabulous Benedict Cumberbatch deliver it as part of the 2016 Letters Live event in London. It is incredibly motivating for when, not if, but when you start to question your own choices and abilities. And when that happens, here's another thing. You are not alone unless you choose to be. Create your own communities. Seek others who are like-minded and find ways to harness their energy and creativity as partners and as collaborators. Find avenues to share your talents, joining in conversations and learning and growing from others, from what others bring to the table. This can be done individually as well as institutionally. A perfect example of a successful partnership is the shared history and the ongoing collaboration of this institution and the one that I represent. More Than Proximity connects the Sam Fox School of Design and Visual Arts and the St. Louis Art Museum. These two distinguished St. Louis institutions share a unique origin story dating back 144 years. And as many of you know, the St. Louis School and Museum of Fine Arts was created in 1879 as an independent entity within Washington University, and it was the first professional, university-affiliated art school in the nation. For more than 2 decades, the institution educated artists, designers, and craftspeople through studio and art history classes supported by the museum's growing collection. After the closing of the 1904 World's Fair, both the museum and the school relocated from downtown, the museum to its Cass Gilbert designed perch atop Art Hill, and the school to what would become known as the Danforth campus. The museum and the school were formally separated in 1909 after St. Louisans passed a measure for a special tax to support maintenance of the museum. The City Art Museum, as it was then called, became a public institution, and the School of Art remained part of Washington University and eventually, as you know, would become part of the Sam Fox School. As a result, the Sam Fox School's College of Art is the only art school to have borne a major metropolitan art museum. And although these institutions split more than a century ago, the museum and WashU continue to collaborate in extraordinary ways. SLAM curators often teach at the university, while professors have co-curated exhibitions and contributed catalogs produced by the museum. 22 objects owned by the university are on loan to the museum, including rare coins, Mississippian copper plaques, and 2 very popular Egyptian mummies. While SLAM regularly loans works for its collection to the Mildred Lane Kemper Art Museum. Many of you may have also had the opportunity to study under artists like Dana Levy, Jess T. Dugan, and Malika Mugoshi, all Henry L. and Natalie E. Freund Fellows, who teach contemporary art principles while developing a currents exhibition at SLAM. 114 years after our institution separated, our stories are forever linked. It is the relationships that were formed and sustained over those years, yes, that ensure a lasting commitment to education, art, and design that remain central to both of our missions. Partnership is important for institutions like the museum and the university, but it is essential for individuals. So find collaborators, seek out mentors, and share that same generosity of spirit with others. Your path may be difficult and winding, but it's easier when you know you're not alone. The last thing that I want to share is whatever your medium, you should set out to establish a voice and use that voice to tell stories about yourself and about the world we live in, but more importantly, about the world we want to live in. At the St. Louis Art Museum, there is an inscription carved on the south facade of our historic Cass Gilbert designed building. It reads, "Art still has truth. Take refuge there." Written by Matthew Arnold as part of an elegy mourning the death of fellow English poet William Wordsworth. These words are a reminder that art can heal and inspire. These last few years have been complicated, to say the least, and your presence today proves your resiliency. And now, the world needs you more than ever. To the graduating class of 2023, congratulations, but more importantly, thank you. As artists, designers, and architects, you have a vital role to play in society, and the rest of us will be rewarded by the work that you do. You will leave a lasting impression on communities and the environment, and your creativity will shape and alter the visual culture of tomorrow. In closing, I'd like to share with you a very simple idea that has stuck in my mind now for more than a quarter of a century. When I did first visit Williams College in the mid-1990s, I remember walking up a great stone corridor staircase that was connecting the main and the only commercial street in Williamstown with a residential dormitory on a higher elevation. On either side of the stairs, there were massive stone pillars, the kind that only could have been made in the late 19th century, and hammered into one of those pillars were 4 simple lines in 5-inch high brass letters. And in reciting them, these are the words that I wish to leave you with on this very auspicious day. Climb high, climb far, your aim, the sky, your goal, the stars. Congratulations and thank you.
Thank you, Min. That was wonderful, and we're so fortunate to have you here leading the St. Louis Art Museum. Now we will begin our presentation of our undergraduate degree candidates. To start, I would like to introduce the chair of the Undergraduate Architecture Program, Associate Professor Constance Vail.
Bachelor of Arts in Architecture, Bachelor of Science in Architecture.
Mira Barat. Federico Bonora. Kevin Gao. Akiva Yitzchak Groner. Cloud Guo. Juliet Fiona Hess. Yu Hong Hui. Ella Marie Christine K. Matthews. Sydney Jane Medford. Sophia Claire Roberts. Alexandra Jillian Rubin. Allison Grace Todd. Ray Mio Yanagita. Haishin Jo. Neema Suare. Ricardo Daniel Alvarado. Andrea Carolina Castañeda. Hanwen Chen. Susanna Cruz. Madison Michelle Dugar. Stella Goffman. Eric Kim. Zachariah J. Kirsch. Wen-Chi Lai. Angie Long. Ethan Marone Lowndes. Aaron Luo. Emily Ann Miller. Malcolm George Neal. Zishen Pan. Caitlin Prater. Chu Chu Chi. William Roger Simon III. Carlos Ivan Soria Garcia. Madeline Ann Starr. William Anthony Swanson. Austin Silin. Caleb Marcus Uhlendorf. Eric Wong. Manafi Wan. Sitong Steve Ye. David Yi. Maya Yildirim.
Next, I would like to introduce the Chair of Undergraduate Arts, Tim Portlock.
It is my pleasure to present the candidates for the following degrees: Bachelor of Arts, major in art, Bachelor of Fine Arts, major in art.
Colleen Angeli Avila. Paul Charles Gruber. Adelaide Katrina Cozio. Nista Panda. Cloris Shan. Aidan Stern. Hejin An. Grace Armour Byers. Shaylee Tara Kamatant. Connor Richard Dolan. Levi Taylor Gentry. Jackson Thomas Hescock. David Luo. William Henry Masters. Mick Patrick McDonald. Alex Bassett McLaughlin. Miao Kuyan Seal. Terry Rim. Jackson Henry Whetstone. Naomi Yu.
Next, I would like to introduce the Chair of Undergraduate Design, Aggie Toppins.
It is my pleasure to present the candidates for the following degrees: Bachelor of Arts, major in Design, Communication concentration, Bachelor of Arts, major in Design, Fashion concentration, Bachelor of Arts, major in Design, no concentration, Bachelor of Fine Arts, major in Communication Design, and Bachelor of Fine Arts, major in Fashion Design.
Herman Braggs. Caroline Chang. Christy Chen. Kathleen Chen. Janice Choi. Gabriella Esther Cooperman. Cameron Bruce Ekstrand.
Isabel Renee Favaloro.
Sarah Frankenthaler. Greg Guan.
Okay. I'm sorry about this. Ji Woo Grace Kim.
Samantha Ko. Zhehua Pan. Sophia Alexandra Roig. Danny Sass. Ali Grace Sassa.
Alexa Schlau.
Eugene Song. Kate Whitney Ward. Christine B. Sydney Lorraine Bibbs. Jules Catherine Blattner. Sierra Nico Brandegie. Ray Jan Brody. Aaron Cho. Brian Sway. Mia Nicole Goldberg. Emma Hope Harrison. Galen Aubrey Hicks. Courtney Ann Huang. Ro Yi Jin. Nicole Josefa Cadoin. Joshua Maurice James Johnson. Tally Victoria Johnson. Caitlin S. Kim. Hannah Kim. Alexandra Kostenko. Jamie Augustina Lee. Jess Lee. Layla Lee Choi. Hannah Nicole Leibovich. Maggie Liu. Bridget Ryan McGinn. Sophie Elizabeth Ross. Emma Schumacher. Reagan Nicole Stern. Leah Diane Tucker. Sabrina Spiro Urban. Lena Maxine Viersen.
Jenny Zhijian Wang.
Mei Lily Wang. Flora Wu.
Tim Xu.
Andrea Joe. Olivia Therese Baba. Zaneta Calixt. Mackenzie Mary Miller Llewellyn. Madeline Lily Savage. Connor Brennan Sager.
Is there one more? Okay. Next, I would like to introduce the Director of the College of Architecture and Graduate School of Architecture and Urban Design, and the Sam and Marilyn Fox Professor, Heather Woofter.
It is now my honor to introduce our undergraduate student speaker, Neema Soare, a candidate for the Bachelor of Arts in Architecture degree. Neema is originally from the Republic of the Gambia in West Africa. She came to the US 6 years ago, attending high school in Maryland. As an undergraduate student, Neema focused on integrating civic design with international development and policy. This passion is apparent in her student work and immersive life experiences. A tutor for America Reads, a residential advisor, and co-president of National Organization of Minority Students, architecture students, Neema approaches her work with great sensitivity, prioritizing community and advocacy in architecture. Her senior capstone focused on the informal settlement of Kibera and Nairobi, Kenya, challenging formal Western construction with the necessary ingenuity and intricacy to engage dense, deregulated living environments, while also drawing attention to the responsibility of governments to provide safe living conditions for their people. Most recently, Neema received a City Studio St. Louis Fellowship through our Office of Socially Engaged Practice, where she partnered with Trivers Architecture firm in the adaptive reuse of the culturally and historically significant Harrison School in Tipton, Missouri. As part of the Sam Fox School community, we have shared the privilege of seeing Neema grow as a student and influential advocate of design. She is thoughtful, rigorous, and adept at using her skills to unpack deep societal complexities towards a more just world. Please join me in welcoming Neema Soare.
Stop. Wow. It really is my world, and you guys are all living in it. So, if you know me, this is not good for my God complex, but please don't worry, this speech has been proofread by multiple demographics, so we should be fine. We should be fine. No ad-libbing is what my sister said. So, before I begin, I would like to thank all my peers for thinking it was a good idea to put me up here. Based on the rest of this speech, we will see if it really was a good idea. So let's Oh Lord, let's all hope for the best. Okay. I have so many people I want to thank today, and I'm afraid that because of my current disassociative state, I won't be able to name everyone and really be able to convey just how much being supported by them has meant to me. So I will say thank you, friends, family, and faculty for going through these 4 years with me. Mira, Haishin, Stella, Madison, Stella, Madison, Malcolm, Georgia Bennington, Robert McCarter, Bruce Lindsay. I'm trying to name so many people. Susanna Cruz, Ricardo, it's like a lot. Oh my God, Federico. I just wanted to name, just so you guys know, I see all of you. And so, yeah. I moved to the States from the Gambia about 6 years ago and had to do a summer reading for my sophomore English class. This is when I was introduced to Ralph Waldo Emerson, and I was immediately engrossed by his essay, Self-Reliance. We understand he's a controversial figure. I'll get to that. Okay. It is easy in the world to live after the world's opinion. It is easy in solitude to live after our own. But the great man is he who in the midst of the crowd keeps with perfect sweetness the independence of solitude. The feeling of individualism I desired for so long had been perfectly expressed in this essay. Sorry, I lost my place, I'm so sorry, okay. There was a part of me that didn't want to be tied to responsibilities and the expectations of my community. I had these thoughts in my bedroom back home, and the walls were painted baby blue, and outside my window was this lush greenscape. And I bring this up because when I had these thoughts, where I had these thoughts gave me the ability to think about what I wanted and who I wanted to be. And that was because of having a space to do it. The privilege to be in a space of my own. I don't resonate with Emerson anymore, really because I realize that we are all not given that privilege of space. And that when he talks about our aboriginal self, man's nature, it is without the acknowledgement that who we are is an amalgamation of who our parents are, what our environment is, what the world is, and was before we are even born. I like to touch on this privilege of space because it is the reason I got into architecture. Across the world, but I guess specifically my own, space, shelter, it's not something everyone has access to. I'm not just talking about space as the walls and the openings of a building, but the quality of life of it. We live in a world where socially constructed signs of value determine who we believe deserves space and who we believe does not. This is seen in what governments decide to place more funding in over others. This is seen in the monuments we build, where and what we choose to place in parks and neighborhoods, the structural integrity of a hospital or school, where we choose to place hospitals and schools. Architecture expresses to us what it deems important, who it deems important. It tells us about the culture of the times. I got into architecture because I wanted to build spaces that allow people to think and be. That makes people feel that they've been thought about and that they are cared for. Thought is a powerful thing. It is because of thought, really, being able to not dismiss my own, that I was able to come to the conclusion I will express to you now. I want to offer people the space to think. Once you have shelter, this fundamental need, you are able to consider your next steps. You are able to be and discover how you want to be. Architecture for me, and art, I did not forget you guys. You guys are here, great guys, you're amazing. Is about care. It is here we are able to capture the human spirit in the making. The self is built in space. I like to talk about architecture, the architecture of things a lot with my sister. Majala, I love you. And the architecture of food, how Western food varies in density organization, and color to West African food. I also like to think about the architecture of the human mind, how it is built from a variety of materials, experiences, environments, and temperaments. The denseness of our thoughts, really what we choose to think about, and thoughts that have been chosen for us, all play a role in building ourselves. I like to think that architecture, really space in general, offers us moments to evaluate and reevaluate what we are made of, and what has built us to this very moment. We are able to experience time and space in suspension. This is all to say, space is precious, and if you are able to, and willing, create space for yourself, but also consider if that space can be shared with someone else. Because the space that was offered to me by my peers, when I tell you without it, I would have been going through IBS alone, and that's just not right. It was really bad. I know the art people also were experiencing gastrointestinal issues, and I'm so sorry. And I hope you guys have been supported. Yeah. We have spent hundreds of hours together, so many of us lack basic social cues, and yet, through our shared experiences, we're able to connect with each other. One, because we had literally no other options. Like, we do not have a lot of friends outside of the school. Guys, like, name like a few art sci kids right now. I dare you. Yeah. But also because of the shared interest of making space for people. Our motivations are different, but the values still remain relatively the same. I've never met a more talented group of people, and a quote that my sister sent me a while ago said, "A human being should be able to change a diaper, plan an invasion, con a ship, design a building, write a sonnet, balance accounts, set a bone, comfort the dying, take orders, give orders, cooperate, act alone, solve equations," I'm sorry, this is long, analyze a new problem, pitch manure, program a computer, cook a tasty meal, Federico. Yeah. Fight efficiently, die gallantly. Specialization is for insects, not Sam Fox students. Come on, guys. So, breaking your arm in 3 places on the first day of study abroad, and then building a whole model with 1 working arm and unfeathered optimism. Austin, we're talking about you. It's Austin. Give it up. Yeah. I'm talking having gastrointestinal issues and still being able to finish in time for review. I would assume this is also applicable to the art kids. So I would, you give yourselves a hand, really. It's amazing, amazing. This is a talented and deeply traumatized group of people that were able to come out of this very much scathed, but out nonetheless, with enough empathy and understanding to last a lifetime. We really did the thing, guys. This space on this celebratory day, I share with you all. There are so many successes, opportunities, and hopefully moments to come back to this time and this feeling where we can truly say that we've made a community here. We made ourselves a home, a place. Congratulations to us all. We did it. Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you, Neema. We will now begin with the presentation of graduate degree candidates. To start, I would like to introduce the Joanne Stolaroff-Coatzin Professor of Architecture and Chair of Graduate Architecture, Monica Rivera.
It is my pleasure to present the candidates for the following degrees: Master of Architecture, Master of Science in Advanced Architectural Design, Master of Science in Architectural Studies.
Bob Peniel Inupanuri. Xiaofan Hu. Xiaoan Hu. Zidong Guo. Keon DeMonte Gibson. Andrew Foster. Zachary L. Ebers. Jacob John Davies. John Busby. Shamin Akhtar. Hao Tian Alex Liu. Xiaoshen Liu. Mila Catherine Lipinski. Jen Yu Lee. Shen Li. Jiaqi Li. Jae Guan Li. Adrian Elizabeth Cruz. Megan Elizabeth Kidd. Marshall Anthony Cartunis. Ki Yong Jong. Yuanshan Jiang. Matthew Struck. Justin Evan Stanley. Sijia Song. Alicia Elizabeth Ringer. Jolene Wren. Karen Alicia Ramos. Max Posen. Shannon Kathleen O'Donnell. Bailey Christine Null. Casey Michael Niblet. Monica Maria Malika. Patricia Moriel. Nicholas McIntosh. Yu Zhou. Zitao Zhang. Yan Zhang. Xu Pei Zhang. Sharian Chinsi Yu. Wenjing Yi. Hao Shan Yan. Zhenran Xu. Xin Su. Shiqi Wu. Olivia Pearl Victor. Jacqueline Trout. Shangyu Su.
Li Chao Wei.
Next, I would like to introduce the Chair of Graduate Landscape Architecture and Urban Design, Derek Hofferlin.
It is my pleasure to present the candidates for the Master of Landscape Architecture, Master of Urban Design, and Doctor of Sustainable Urbanism.
Yep, we're good. Get you back on track. Thank you.
Kundinika Adekulu. Caitlin Joy Berger. Wei Song Huang. Hanyin Ma. Chen-Yue Wang. Jingyan Wang. Niansong Zhang.
Su Shen. Rachel Elizabeth Stagner.
Ho-Min Kim. Mingliang Li.
Shamin Akhtar.
Next, I would like to introduce the Kenneth E. Hudson Professor of Art and Chair of Master of Fine Arts in Illustration and Visual Culture, John Hendricks.
It is my pleasure to present the candidates for the Master of Fine Arts in Illustration and Visual Culture.
Emily Lynn Bielski. Britton Lee Bray. Aisha Ajaz. Shumail Heather. Carrie Elizabeth Kiesler. Bernadette Joy Lamb. Mira H. Patel. Danielle Renee Rodolfi. Arthur J. Santoro. Carrie Daniela Shapiro. Stephanie Silva. Erin Beatrice Williams. Purvi Rajpuria.
Next, I would like to introduce graduate art faculty member Megan Kirkwood.
It is my pleasure to present the candidates for the Master of Fine Arts in Visual Art.
Alexander Richard Braden. Alex Roseborough Davis. Jamie Lee Harris. Megan Patrice Kenyon. Charlene Lee Chat Ling. Anna Linnea Shanker. Se-Gi So. Samantha Elcarty Sloan. Karen Liang Young. Alina Marie Brazier.
Handing it back over to Jackie. Yeah.
Okay. It's my, oh, can you hear me? Can you hear me? Okay. No? Oh, okay. It's my privilege to introduce our graduate student speaker, Alina Brazier, who's earning her Master's of Fine Art in Visual Art. A native East St. Louisan, Alina Marie Brazier is an artist and curator whose work invests back into the St. Louis community and region. Her artwork addresses family, race, class, and systemic structures, especially as they pertain to Black Americans historically and presently. Alina has exhibited her work throughout the region and beyond, and in 2021 was selected for the International Sculpture Center's Outstanding Student Achievement Award. She held the inaugural position of MFA Curator in Residence at Tech Artista, a special collaboration between the Sam Fox School and the Lewis Collaborative in University City. She is a genuinely generous person who has played a significant role in the MFA in Visual Art program. As a demonstration of the high esteem in which she is held by her peers, they selected her to address you today. Please welcome Alina Marie Brazier.
I just crossed the stage. Okay. I got all right. Thank you for that lovely introduction, Amy. Thank you to the dean, chairs, professors, administrators, staff, those who's working in the labs and workshops. Thank you for your dedication to us students. Special thank you to MFA Chair Lisa Belowski and Graduate Program Coordinator Melissa Whitwam. Thank you to my family, my loving parents who continue to pour into me, who have supported me and continue to see and believe in the vision. Also, happy Mother's Day, Mama. I want to make a special shout out to the visual arts cohort, the MFA students. Thank you. Yeah, okay. So thank you for the labs, the critiques, the car rides, and nominating me to speak. So I'm gonna just take this moment in and look around at you all. I see a crowd full of hopes, dreams, and hard work being answered right in front of me. So for the past few weeks, I've been deciding on what to write, what to say to you all. I type in my notes every day, but nothing didn't quite hit. And so I was like, should I tell a personal story about myself? Or should I say one word and mic drop? I started to watch a Denzel Washington's commencement speech just to conjure up something to say, but his speech was 22 minutes too long, so I didn't even finish it. So sorry, Denzel, if you're watching this live on stream. I felt stressed and pressured, so I decided to stand here as your friend, a true and honest friend speaking from my heart. When I was in undergrad a couple of years ago, I was trying to figure out what I wanted to do. Was I on the right track? I was confused. So I told my mentor about these feelings, which I suggest you all get somebody for support. And I told her everything. And she told me, trust yourself. So in all my angst and confusion, I said, trust myself.
But over the times, I realized that trusting yourself wasn't just a pretty phrase or something to make me feel better. It was a call to action. Action mixed with emotions of fear, hope, faith, and work. So, I want to tell you a little bit about how I arrived here for the visual arts program. While in undergrad, I had a list of schools, and WashU was on that list. And so I decided to go up to the campus since I stay in East St. Louis, and that's 30 minutes away. It was a beautiful day, and nobody asked for a tour or reached out to me. I just wanted to go. So me and my mother came over the river and went to the Wall Hall area. And so she decided to look at the sculptures and walk around, and I decided to sit at the water fountains. And when I sat there, I said, this is where I'm supposed to be. So I went back and didn't apply to any other school but one school, WashU. Call that trusting yourself. So after a while, December 17th, I said, maybe I won't go to school. Maybe I'll travel, do something else. But I realized I was justifying my fears and doubts. So I talked to my mentor, the same one who told me to trust myself. And she said, just continue to apply. Just do it. She said, if you get in, you can decide to decline them. But if you don't get in and they say no, well, you just can't go. So I continued the process. And in this moment, I want to be truthful and vulnerable with you all that no one knows, but I was waitlisted. But being on the wait list, I wasn't afraid. I wasn't scared of saying that this plan was not something I wanted. But I continued, and then early April, around the 2nd or 4th, I got an email saying I was accepted. And then I said, well, I'll accept you, WashU. So now, that is my story of how I got here. But I want you to know that you don't have to just listen to my story, that all of you have a story to be encouraged by. You are not alone in this process. You have been trusting yourself all along. Through the failures, or it may seem like failures, but look at you now. Even in the moments when you felt like you were hanging by a thread, moments where you felt alone and were trying to survive the night, or perhaps you had those joyous moments of accomplishments. Like me, you have overcome those obstacles. Your family, friends, professors, and many others believed in you. But ultimately, all of you believed in yourself. So, I want to leave you with 3 things. 1, trust your abilities and yourself to do something you haven't done before or what made it seem out of reach. 2, trusting yourself isn't just a career goal. It's about your choices in life. And 3, y'all gonna like this one, R-E-S-T, rest. Yes, get some well-needed sleep, but resting your mind from all the pressures and stress of what's next, or what do you do after you graduate. If you're confused or don't have a definite answer, or maybe you do, but I want you to tell yourself this and others when they ask, what's next? Tell them this. Tell them, I am trusting myself into something unknown. Thank you and congratulations to us.
Thank you, Elena. Thank you, Naima, and thank you, man. Let's hear it again for our speakers. But now I might give the graduates a chance to thank their parents, family, and friends. If you want to stand, turn around, and shout out to them. Congratulations to your fam. If you can see them out there, yeah. Graduates, as you embark on the next phase of your journey, we're confident that you will fully utilize the power of your disciplines and your education in the Sam Fox School. Congratulations to to all of you. We're excited to see where your paths will take you and the remarkable things you will achieve. Please remember to stay in touch, come back and visit often. Well, you'll always be part of the Sam Fox School and the amazing community of Washington University alumni. Let's hear it for our outstanding graduates of 2023.